Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm talking about mission planning and the differences in military mission planning and what we now are considering for law enforcement mission planning. So the old mnemonic is METT-TC, okay? So that means mission, enemy, terrain, troops, time, and civilian considerations. Everything that falls in these categories is gonna dictate how and who and where and when a mission takes place, right? So you're doing your mission planning, you find out what your mission is, you find out who the enemy is, conventional, non-conventional, you find out your terrain, is it mountainous, desert, is it dry and arid, or is it swamp, right? Your troops, you have a full platoon, just a squad, or do you have an entire regiment, right? Because that will definitely dictate how the mission is conducted. Time, what time of the day is it? Is it day or night, right? That's gonna affect a lot of other things, right? Our equipment and so forth. And is it a time hack? Do you have a long amount of time to complete this mission, or is this a 3-day, 4-day mission, right? But lastly, civilian considerations. Are you going to throw a Hellfire missile in that building before you find out who is in there? No. So you want to definitely consider what's around and who's around when you're doing a military mission, and yeah, so that would pretty much cover your big bullet points for planning a mission in a military sense. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this is not new information. METT-TC has been around for a while. It was around when I was in, and this is what we used. So a lot of guys get out of the military and they'll take it to, say, the law enforcement side of the house, or they'll take it to private security side of the house, right? And it does fit in there, but it's not exact, right? Because troops, you got to work with what you got, essentially. Civilian considerations, there should be no civilian casualties in a law enforcement or private security setting, right? Especially if we're talking domestically, that's not acceptable. Your enemy, it's not like a conventional force or non-conventional force. Yes, that would matter some, but what the point is that I want to talk about what we might be switching to and should be switching to for a law enforcement or private security side of things. All right. So this is the law enforcement side of the mission planning spectrum. Essentially, this mnemonic, it was not created by me. Can't remember who exactly it was, but I did stumble upon this not too long ago. So what this does, this breaks it down into more of a law enforcement mission planning goals, right? So it's called PIETO. That's how you would say it. Priority, intelligence and information, environment, tactics and tools, and officer instincts. You can see this is very different from METT-TC. METT-TC is obviously very militarized, and this is definitely more considerate to the law enforcement side of the house. You could even use this, again, like I said, in a private security setting, especially domestically. So your priority, you're talking about priority to life, you're talking about priority to the mission, you're talking about what's most important here. Is it a mental health crisis, or is it a wanted person who is armed, you know? So your priority, which one is it? Intelligence and information, we're talking about weapons and who this person is, where this is at, you know. Information is the key to success, okay? Environment, is it raining, is it snowing, is it hot out, is it so far back into the woods that you can't get there by vehicle? That's definitely going to change how you're going to act to this. Tactics and tools. Some of you guys might not have the same amount of tactics or the same amount of tools or same quality of tools, right? So you're going to have to structure your mission around those things. All right, if you don't have a Bearcat, you're not driving up somebody's door. And then lastly, officer instincts. Officer instincts is pretty subjective, and I think that it does serve a big role because there are times when you're going to see a situation and you're going to say, this doesn't feel good. I'm getting a bad gut feeling about this. We're not going to do that. Not going to push in on this. Or I've seen this before. This has happened before to me, or it's happened to my friend. I'm not gonna try this, or I am gonna try this, right? So this is something that people are moving to, and I think it's important to discuss and it's important to share, because sometimes METT-TC doesn't really fit into the law enforcement side of the house. But it's a real just quick run through. I implore you to look up PIETO and see, you know, if there's anyone else that's talking about this, or there's anyone else that can explain it a little bit better than me, maybe in more in depth. I just wanted to hit it on the surface so that people are aware that there are a set of mission planning standards now, and people are really, you know, starting to consider not so much a demilitarization of law enforcement, but a different set of tactics and mission planning goals for law enforcement, because they are quite different. All right, but anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks for watching.